Welcome to this week's What If. It's still Sunday. It's still this week, so I'm still getting it out. And pretty much we're closing out the What If Gohan was raised or trained as a fighter growing up. Now, for just a quick note on my What Ifs. When I start a What If I know it's not going to be if I know it's going to be at least a two-parter, I'm pretty much just going to start whenever I start the new What If. It's going to every What If from there on is going to be the same What If until that What If is closed out. That's how I don't want to leave. I want to not leave any open ends with the What Ifs now. So that way I'm not gonna forget one in the future. And I was like, oh wait, I still gotta finish this one and this one, and this one. That way, it's easy that way. Plus, some of these I'm gonna need a lot of time. Not a lot, but I'm gonna definitely need some thinking time on. Simply because of how non-specific some of them are. Anyway, without further ado, we're closing that out. Now, wait, gotta get the voice going. Last time on Dragon Ball Z What Ifs, we left off on the Buu saga. Goku and Gohan together had tag team Majin Buu. Buu nearly could have absorbed Gohan, but Gohan and Gohan and Goku combined were able to defeat the blue blob of terror. Vegeta, beaten, was able to regain his former intelligence and mind, and was pretty much still a dick. And Bobbity was defeated. So, now that we pretty much caught ourselves up, you can also just watch my part 2 if you just want to if you want the how I came to the conclusion there. We got to pretty much the beginning of Super, which I believe they said takes place like somewhere in like the 3-year period, give or take, somewhere in that. Now, when we left off with the Buu arc, Goku was still slightly like I'm trying to remember where I think I put Gohan around 90 million, Goku around 100 million. So Goku is still the stronger, just because Goku is a natural warrior, as opposed to Gohan, who, while has theoretically more potential than Goku, at least throughout Dragon Ball Z he did. Gohan, even if you were trained as fire, doesn't have the same natural mentality as Goku. So while theoretically he has more potential, he doesn't have the innate drive that Goku does. Even with training, he doesn't have the just natural drive to grow stronger and become a greater warrior. That's not to say he wouldn't be a great warrior even if he was trained. He just doesn't have that instinct, naturally speaking. At least not as strong as Goku does. So, with that, I mean, from the looks of it, neither of them. I mean, Goku didn't look like he got really any strong. Goku didn't look like he had got any stronger or trained. He didn't. His strength hadn't increased that much, if at all, from DBZ to Super. And what the, my bad, my my computer became unplugged. Yeah, his strength didn't look like he really increased, so I'm gonna have to keep these guys both at the same level. That said, both these guys still can reach Super Saiyan 3 if need be. So cut to Beerus. Cut to Beer showing up and Goku. Now I can't remember if I gave him the instant transmission or not. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did give him instant transmission. We'll just say for the sake of this that I did. So that fight still takes place exactly the same as it did. Then Beer shows up on Earth, and Gohan is actually the second strongest fighter on the planet. But here's the big difference here. Boo's not around anymore. Boo's dead. So I would imagine that if Beers did get upset, it wouldn't be from Boo. Well, obviously it wouldn't be from Boo. He's not there. It wouldn't be because he didn't get any pudding. It'd be probably for some other stupid reason. And knowing Beers, he probably would essentially. But maybe eventually he would, or eventually, maybe it would be further down the line. Goku shows up right as Beers gets mad and the fight goes down. And Vegeta, it goes about the same. Gohan theoretically stronger than Vegeta, but Vegeta, rage boosts. Maybe even Videl gets hurt or something like that, and Gohan rage boosts too. His Super Saiyan 3 temporarily grows stronger than Goku's, and even surpasses Vegeta, so he maybe pushes Beerus a little harder than even Vegeta did. But overall, that doesn't really go anywhere. Then Goku shows up, they do the Super Saiyan God thing, that all goes about the same. Now we cut to the aftermath of that. Gohan and Vegeta probably both know that there's now a level beyond Super Saiyan, or their personal maxes. And are probably going to try to train beyond that, try to attain that power. Vegeta obviously goes to train with Whis. so forth and so on. Goku also then goes to train with Whis and Vegeta. Now, would Gohan go to train with Whis and Vegeta? I would say no. Now, Gohan's still going to train. In fact, I think he would even maybe use like the hyperbolic time chamber stuff at least a little bit to try to streamline his training. Remember also, this is not the Gohan from the original DVD timeline who had his hidden potential unlocked. So just because Gohan's going to be a lot stronger in this does not mean he's a lot stronger than his. That was a badly formulated sentence. Just because we're looking at a Gohan who's trained as a fighter, who's never really lost the strength he's possessed or possesses, does not mean he's stronger than his canon counterpart. If anything, no, he's a lot weaker, I'd say, than his canon counterpart. Not by a lot, at least if I got the power levels right in my head, not by a lot. But still, he would not be as strong, even with like the gravity. In fact, let's just even it out and say that with the gravity training or the hyperbolic time chamber training, he can with his Super Saiyan 3 form, he can level himself out to his ultimate mystic state in the DBZ timeline. So anyway, when Goku and Vegeta are training, then Frieza and his forces show up. Now, one big thing was Gohan couldn't go Ultimate. He couldn't even go, well, I think he could go Super Saiyan 2. We didn't see that in the fight as far as I can tell. He could still go Super Saiyan, but he couldn't. Gohan was a lot weaker in the Resurrection F arc than in the original arc. This Gohan, not the case. Now, I still need to, I'll probably, because I've got numbers down for just about every character, well, not every character, like all the universe characters, I'm still figuring that shit out. But for all like the basic ones, from like the ones we know from DBZ history, we got most of the power levels written out for those guys. But the things still need to be adjusted and stuff. So like when I'm ready to do each person's personal power levels, I'll probably like refine them a little bit. But with Frieza's power level, Frieza claimed that, if I train hard enough, I might be even able to reach a power level of 1,300,000. Like, that number matters at all. Clearly, his power level was well beyond that in his base form, because he pretty much one-shotted Gohan in the stomach with a gut punch. Even if Gohan was weakened, his power was probably still somewhere in the realm of, like, 15 million base at least. His power level was probably over 1 billion, easy. And Frieza pretty much one-shotted. I'm pretty certain he was in Super Saiyan, but I'll have to double-check that. Pretty much one-shotted him. Anywho, this Gohan, not the case. This Gohan is definitely on the stronger side. I mean, let me think on that real quick. And forgive me for pausing right now, but I'm trying to do the math in my head on that. Let's say he's somewhere around the lines of 200 million, give or take. So when they show up, Gohan immediately goes Super Saiyan and just starts wasting fools, punishing them. They're all doing their thing. All of a sudden, he calls out Frieza, Frieza! And he's like, so the little Saiyan brat has grown up. And I was like, and he asks, I was like, take care of him. And then Gohan just goes Super Saiyan 2 just to prove a point and just blocks him and probably breaks him and just boom. So now Frieza versus Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's like, you will be a good practice warm-up for your father, boy. So, realizing that I don't think Vegeta, no, actually, Frieza, we've actually, I think, determined that Frieza at this point can sense power levels, I think, at this point. I just repeated myself a little bit there. At this point, I think there's enough evidence, like talking about power and energy, particularly with the last episode where he was able to sense Jiren's energy. I think everyone could. And maybe that's just because Jiren was so powerful. It's like, I can't sense energy, and I can feel that. I think it's possible Frieza could sense energy at this point. So anyway, he senses Gohan's energy. And probably, let's say he goes to maybe third form. He doesn't feel his full power form as necessary. Well, let's even say he just goes to his base, to final form minus Golden. So that power, not going max, obviously, but that power level. So, and him and Gohan square off, and Gohan's holding his own okay, but Frieza's pretty much toying with him. Gohan decides to go Super Saiyan 3, and that level of power is giving Frieza a bit more than he was expecting, and pushing him a little back. But however, with the nature of Super Saiyan 3, even when you're fully mastered it, it's going to drain you dry. So Gohan is, he's huffing and puffing and all that, and Frieza's like, it seems you're running low on energy, boy. I must admit, you gave me a much better workout than I anticipated, and for that I will reward you with a swift death. And just as he's about to, Piccolo gets in the way. Actually, no, he wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't think Piccolo would get in the way. I think Gohan would maybe block it up, bounce it off. And with his energy, Goku would probably be able to send Super Saiyan 3 level energy and just, pinpoint it, and they teleport there, and Goku just, stops Vegeta, or Frieza, sorry, Frieza. And, yeah, there's not much else to go off of with that. That fight still continues the same way. Goku loses, Vegeta wins, blow up, restart, that all shtick. Now, when we get to the Universe 6 arc, it's obviously going to be Goku, Vegeta. Gohan's going to be on there. I think Piccolo would be there, and then Beerus will get Monaka, obviously. Now, another big key difference is they're all going to be able to participate, because Boo didn't fall asleep during the exams and all that. So, fight starts out with Goku. Those two fights go about the same. Piccolo, and then Piccolo loses to Frost, but then, yeah, whatever. And then Vegeta says he wants to take him, but then Gohan's like, nah. It's like, Vegeta, he actually has like, Vegeta, no, all due respect, you got to kill Frieza and all that stuff at least once, so I want to shot this guy for what he did to Piccolo. It's like, Vegeta maybe glares at him, but then Gohan glares right back. And just, they give each other looks like, fine. Say, bruh, taking all my fun. So Gohan immediately just wastes. Just basically does what Vegeta did and lays him out. So at this point now it's I believe they went, it was Magetta, that was his name, Magetta, the robot man. Him and Gohan are duking it out, and I think Gohan would definitely be pushed a little hard by that. But Vegeta didn't have to go blue. I wouldn't imagine Gohan would have to go blue. Super Saiyan 2, yeah, maybe even Super Saiyan 3, because I'd say Super Saiyan, canon wise, I say Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta might be on par with Super Saiyan 3 Gohan, theoretically speaking. Maybe not fully there, but definitely close. Point being, though, Gohan I think would eventually take out Magetta, though it'd be a tough win after some water. They give him some water. Him and Kaba duke it out. And unlike Vegeta, I don't see Gohan as much of a teacher to Kaba, teaching him Super Saiyan. So I think honestly that fight ends pretty quick. So we actually don't have Kaba reaching Super Saiyan in this world. And by the way, with all these what ifs, when I go into Super, I'm going to cap it off before the Universal Survival arc, or before the tournament itself. Just because the tournament's not done yet. So until tournament's done, I can't include those in any what ifs. Just wouldn't be fair. And then obviously Hit comes in. Gohan's pretty analytical. He's actually a pretty good strategist, and I think he would start to figure things out, but he just doesn't have the power to match Hit. And he goes down. Vegeta comes in, does a little better, having analyzed Hit a little bit. Maybe even pushes Hit to advance his time skip somewhat. Like I said, though, 0.1 now goes to like 0.5, and then he eventually beats Vegeta. Goku goes in, having studied him again, and struggles, but eventually, basically it's the same thing. So I think Hit actually evolves past his limits that he had in the canon, so he's even stronger in the canon than he was in the original one. Or even stronger in this than he was in the canon, I should say. So, yeah, and Super Saiyan Blue, all that. Now, the question becomes... the question that's going to be raised by a lot of people in this what if is, would Gohan reach any sort of God stat like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue? Remember, Vegeta was able to do that on his own without the help of anyone. So it stands to reason that Gohan, with help or training, could theoretically do it himself as well. Unless Goku is aiding him in that, because I don't see him honestly training with Whis, or despite being trained as a fighter and continuing fighting, I don't see him being trained as a fighter I don't see him. That's the whole point of this. What if? I don't see him being trained by Whis or Beerus at all. So I would not say he would reach. He would reach that state. But I also should note that Elder Kai is not released in this because the Z Swords never needs to be released. Nor do we have anything to do with the fusion at all. So, now that we have that out of the way, go to the cut to the Goku Black arc, and, it goes about the same. Future Trunks maybe shows back up, and everything is all hunky-dory, or not hunky-dory, but you know what I mean. Sees Goku and Gohan, and they, explain the scenario. Maybe him and Gohan spar, and Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2 and 3, and then, 3 does. Basically, it's the same fight that took place with him, Trunks and Goku, but with Gohan. Goku Black shows up. Goku wants a first crack at him, and that fight goes about the same. Then actually, believe it or not, I see it pretty much progressing the same way as it normally does, because I think Gohan's the one that stays behind to protect everyone else, just on the off chance. So pretty much cut all the way past the Goku Black arc, and you have the beginning of the you have the exhibition match, which again would be Gohan, Boo, and Goku. I think that stays the same. Now it's again it's Boo, and he fights oh god, it wasn't Lavender, Bergamo, not Bergamo, shit, no, oh man, Bergamo, Lavender, Basil, that was it, Basil, because they're all based off spices. Um, so yeah, that happens, and that goes about saying that was a cool fight. I love that fight in the anime, by the way. Then Gohan and Lavender go at it, and unlike in the canon series in the anime, Gohan pretty much dominates the fight. Now, don't get me wrong, the poison still takes effect, and Gohan knows that even if he goes into higher grades, Super Saiyan 2 or 3, it's going to drain his power and health far quicker. But at the same time, he knows it's the only way to really put the dog down. So he makes it quick, and then Goku gives us a sense of being all good. Same, Bergamo versus Goku goes about the same way. Everything's honky dory. Now, the question is that I would imagine Piccolo would be talking to Gohan about training to perfect his either Super Saiyan 3 or training to find a way beyond Super Saiyan 3. Now, the question is, how would they do that? Well, I imagine maybe some sort of... I think Ultimate Gohan in some ways could work, because Piccolo is a very strict and effective teacher for Gohan. Would we have a Mystic Gohan or Ultimate Gohan? Not in the same way. Like, I don't even think the appearance would look the same. Like, it wouldn't just be a strike. It wouldn't look like Super Saiyan hair but black with the lightning. I think it would somehow be some sort of combination of that mixed with maybe Super Saiyan 3. Maybe not like full on black hair, but maybe more. Honestly, let's hypothetically say that if he's able to reach it, like, through training, meditation, and Piccolo's tutelage, reach a form similar to that, it's something more akin to like the Super Saiyan 4 hairstyle. Not full Super Saiyan 3, but very primal looking, very bushy. Maybe get the same eyes and stuff like that. Wouldn't get the fur, or the tail, or anything like that, but something like that. I'd say that could be Gohan's kind of different mystic form. Kind of like a fused version of like Super Saiyan Ultimate and Super Saiyan 4, something like that. And Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 3, something like that. So when him and Goku spar again, it's a pretty heavy-duty match, and Goku obviously needs to go Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken to really take on his son. After that, there's not much else to tell with this story until the Universal Survival arc is actually done. I can't. I mean, honestly, the only things I can say is maybe Gohan wouldn't have as much, wouldn't have as hard a time with, I can't remember the guy's name. The guy who could do like the after image clone technique that he fought from Universe 10, and his little faux fight with Frieza probably would go a little better in his favor. Other than that, there's not much else to tell. So that's the end of this What If right now. Once the tournament is actually over, maybe I can make continue this or something like that. In fact, maybe I can continue them all once the tournament's over. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. If you have ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do in the channel, put in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to it at some point. This week will be The Foreigner. I have two what ifs. I got a what if. Again, and if I got the time Thursday, no, I won't have the time for Thursday. I'll have to do it. I'll have to pre-record it for Wednesday. But I will do a review for review. What am I talking about? It's late. Oh, it's not late. It's not super late, but I am all a little on tired side, so hence why I've kind of been fumbling over some words. But I will have what if magic. That was the word I was looking for. 2 who would wins. Assuming that the schedule for Super is back, Super on next Saturday, plus box office, and anything else that possibly pops up. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next